not a game, it's a rich thing.
Okay, my webcam microphone is working, so hold on a second, guys. It's been a while, so just give me a second here, I'll get this all fixed up. So many technology things to figure out, it's quite insane. Okay. Okay, now I believe I've got the microphone all good to go. Looks like we've got Scott and Joseph in here. How's it going, guys? Alright, so we're good there. Good there. And then we just need to fix my main camera. One moment. And back to this. Close. Sweet. Okay. It took a while, but now we're ready. Okay. How's everybody doing today? How is everybody doing? Okay. Sorry. So much to figure out. So much to figure out. Okay. We are back with an Umbara live stream. How is everybody doing? There we go. Okay. I have to have my YouTube pulled up to make sure I get it all figured out. Okay. We are now good to go. What's up, everybody? It's been a while for the live streams. I know it's been a while. I finally have some free time. I started a full-time job a few months back, and surprise, surprise, that is taking up almost entirely most of all of my time. Shocker. Yes, I can turn on the music. 1 second here. We'll go down to like right there. Yeah, just let me know on any technical things. Essentially what happens is I'm using gear from all sorts of different places, so it takes a while for me to reset everything after each live stream. But yeah, so I've been super busy. As you can see, there's not a ton of progress on the mock. I have extended the road quite a bit, and I've worked on a bunker, but it's kind of in the corner of the frame. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see it. So a little bit of progress. I also recently finished my from start to finish mock. That's over yonder. I don't know if you can see it in the corner all the way back there. Nope, over there, whatever. You can see it kind of back there. It's a Vietnam era mock that is just finished up last night. I finally finished it after months. So I will have that video out this week, hopefully. I had a lot of fun doing that one. I love doing the from start to finish series, where I just do these small historical mocks every once in a while. But yeah, work-life balance is a very hard thing, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know. School and doing school and Lego at the same time was difficult, but I was able to manage it a lot better than this work thing. Trying to work and do Lego at the same time is very hard, especially when what I do for my job involves cameras and a lot of editing. So essentially all day I spend editing and working on camera stuff, so when I get home I'm just like, I just want to play Spider-Man on PS5, you know. But I've been slowly getting back into doing the Lego stuff. On Friday, I went to one of my local shops and got a whole baggie of parts, a lot of black parts. They had a good 25% off deal. I found these really cool translucent green kind of turret pieces that I might have a good use for. But I just picked up a bunch of black pieces, and so far I'm okay on, you know, dark gray and light gray from all my previous mocks, but I didn't have a ton of black pieces, so in front of Umbara, that's obviously pretty important. So, all right, let's scroll back up here, see how everybody is doing. And all right, so Scott was here. Good to see you, Scott. Joseph is here. Hoarder is here. Joey Force, love your mock greens from Germany. Germany. Hold on. Hallo, wie geht's? Alles gut? There's my German for you. I took a little bit of German, but it's not very good, so I apologize for that. Who else we got here? Hey, True Squadron, what's up, man? Been doing good. Been busy. And of course, we also got Firebird. What's up, man? All some of my good buddies that I met at Brickworld, and miss them very dearly, and I can't wait till Brickworld comes around again. So yeah, I've been very busy. Not much Lego stuff to update you guys, really, unfortunately. But yeah, it's just going to take me a while to get back into this, you know, trying to work and do Lego at the same time, but I'm getting there, I promise. I definitely haven't abandoned Lego. I will never do that. I never had like a Dark Ages or anything like that. It's a big life change once you get like a full-time job trying to balance that with Lego stuff. So, but I'm excited to be doing a live stream. I finally found some time to do it because I don't even know the last time I did a live stream. But these live streams are very fun. I love doing the live streams so much. Okay. Had to step in, and if you don't, yeah, there you go, Hoarder. Duplo. I don't have a ton of Duplo, but it's great for rock work. I wish I would have had that in my earlier days for a lot of my rock work. I bought way too many 1x2s and 1x1, just some random colored bricks and, you know, 2x4s when I could have used Duplo. But yeah, I've had a lot of those opportunities where a friend's like, yeah, my younger brother has all this Lego stuff and he's not really using anymore, and I'm just like, I'll take that off your hands for you. And I'm kind of like Hondo in that, you know, he just kind of swoops in and I'll take the stuff off your hands for a little to no price. How about that? And since people don't really know the value of Lego, and it's like, yeah, I don't, you know, just give me $20-$50 for this whole parts collection. I'm like, are you sure? Yeah, I guess, whatever. So I always like those, doing that quite a bit. I've had that happen a couple times, and it definitely helps in terms of just filler brick, having a lot of filler brick and stuff. So yeah, Yeah, not much progress on the mock. The road has extended quite a bit, but now I am, I think, officially, I already put it away, officially out of some of those triangle tile pieces, I believe. I also built a little bunker, like gun emplacement, kind of like where my webcam is, directly under this 501st Trooper down there. It's like this bunker emplacement, and I put it inside the trench, and I think it looks pretty good. Another thing that I've been doing, also I don't know if, sorry, rewind. I hope everyone had a great past couple days if you were celebrating some of the holidays that were happening with Thanksgiving and everything like that. Hope you're able to spend some time with your family, have a good couple days, and then maybe you found some Black Friday deals. That would also be cool as well. For Lego stuff, there was at one point the BD1 I really want. That's on my list. It's been on my list for a long time. But unfortunately, I've put it in my cart and then I went to sleep. And of course, when I woke up the next morning, the price was different. I saw it for like, it was like $70 instead of $100. And then when I woke up the next day, it was back up to like 80 or 90. And I was like, nah. The best deal I found, if you guys are interested, on Walmart, they have Grogu, the buildable Grogu figure for I think $45. That was probably the best deal I found. Otherwise, my most recent addiction has been the Black Series. So I've been getting a lot of Black Series figures. And I need to be careful because before I know it, I'll start buying way too many of them. But I have like a workstation at home since I do a lot of editing. And I have some Lego figures up there. And I always had like a Commander Fox Black Series from like 2019. But I went to Walmart and I saw some of the Bad Batch ones, in particular the Clone Commando. So I picked him up, and then all of a sudden, the floodgates opened, and I've collected a bunch of Black Series figures. So I found a couple good deals on those. But Clone Customs also has some, probably I think it was like 20% off or something. So before the weekend's up, I might try to finally get Rex and Fives and Hardcase, and then I'll probably wait on Dogma and Tup and Kicks, just because for doing the road, Rex obviously is very important. I just don't want to spend too many money on figures because the part you're seeing right now of Umbara, this road is, 30% of the mock. It's, there's a lot. The main mock's going to be the city, so I need to spend more money on 212th Troopers, which are way too expensive nowadays. I only have like the newer ones. I think I only have 3 of these ones, and then I have probably 2 or 3 battle packs worth of the older ones, which I really love these guys. And of course, since I love the classic minifigures, I've got a bunch of the older style Phase 2, which I absolutely love. I will always love these figures so much. I know the new battle pack will probably come out and I'll be able to buy some of those figures, but I'll have to make a tough choice whether or not to use the newer Phase 2 Plain Troopers that'll probably be coming out in the battle pack in January or whatever, or if I will stick with my favorite classic guys like that. So yeah, back to Umbara. I think I want to, you can kind of see I plated out a lot of this over here, and I was going to put a lot more vegetation and trees. That was going to be my plan for over here, but I took a step back the other day, as I'm screaming into the microphone, sorry. I took a step back the other day and looked at the trench, and I was like, yeah, I really want another trench over here. So I think I'm going to do another trench over here, just a small one, and then I'll still do the vegetation and all the trees and everything like that. Okay, let's see. Sorting all my Lego and realizing most of my pieces are light gray, dark bluish gray. Oh yeah. Yeah, Scott, it was on Amazon, and then Target also had it, and then I checked. Target still had the deal, but it wasn't available to ship to me, which was really weird. There's a couple things like that where I'd click on it where it'd be a deal, and then it said unavailable to ship to your location. I was like, oh, nice. That's unfortunate. Always catching used haul deals for moms who get rid of it while their kids are at college. Yeah, I know, when they find out they got rid of Star Wars sets, especially if they have like a figure or something where they're like, could get a substantial amount of money for that. And yeah, Kennedy's doing for the 2014 versions. I love these. Funny story, I think I've told it before. Brick World Chicago 2017, what I ended up doing was running around and just looking. I mean, the prices were pretty good in 2017 for Clone Troopers because, the new Clone Wars episodes hadn't come out yet for the unfinished episodes, Siege of Mandalore and everything. And I was just grabbing, any 212th Troopers I could see. And I'm pretty sure I was getting Airborne Troopers for $5 to $7. Same with like these guys, $5, $6. Just kind of insane prices in 2017 compared to what they are now. And I wish I would have, tried to get more. But at the time, I was like, I'll just grab a couple this year, maybe a couple more next year. And, before you know it, all of a sudden, the price is just all the way up for all the clone troopers, essentially. So, and yeah, Caleb's saying the same thing down here. New Phase 2s are going to be cheap. That's the struggle is buy a bunch of those for cheap, or stick to my stubborn classicness, or both. I know that's probably going to make people a lot upset if I started mixing like all these guys with different ones. It would annoy me if I did that, but I kind of snuck and did that with the Zepho mock, where I used a bunch of the Battlefront Stormtroopers from 2016, I believe, with the scars and battle damage, and then I used a bunch of the classic Stormtroopers, and I even used a couple of Rebel Stormtroopers, but no one, I don't think, had a problem with it, because what I really tried to do was I separated them. So if I was using different versions of minifigures, I would make sure to not clump them together, because personally that would upset me, that would annoy me just a little bit. So I had, all the classics, Stormtroopers on the landing pad, and then the battle damage ones were, in the actual battle itself, and then matching some stuff in the actual base itself. But yeah, if I do mix them, they'll be in different locations of the mock. But it's just because I have so many of like these guys that it would just be a shame to like not use them in Umbara, when I'm going to need as many troops as possible, and we're talking about a capital siege. I'm going to need a lot of troopers for that. So we'll see what happens. And then right now, I guess I'll shout out True Squadron, Kennedy over here, and Firebricks Caleb. They both have awesome stuff going on their channel, so check out some of their stuff when you get the chance. Honestly, a lot of people are doing a lot of crazy, really cool stuff right now. And I haven't, been able to follow it as much as I would like, just because I've been, busy. So like the other day I opened up my Lego Instagram for the first time in a very long time. And I was just like, this is an awesome walk. This is an awesome walk. And I just didn't have time to go through all of it. So there's just a lot happening right now, which is really awesome. Hey, Owen Bricks is here. What's up, man? Another person who's got great stuff on the channel. So go check him out as well. How do you feel about the helmet holes? So you personally don't mind them? Yeah, the prints being messed up is a big no-no for me. I'm really not a fan of, the helmets, even compared to these 2014 ones where they, were able to do it correctly. Look at this great camera quality on the webcam. I don't like the helmet holes really at all, but I do think by having these macros on them, they're less noticeable. So if I get any of these new 212 troopers, they're probably all going to have these kind of macro, these binoculars on them, because I don't think they look very good with the helmet holes. So we'll see. I'm also hoping to get the ATTE, because I never got that from 2 summers ago, or whenever the heck that happened. I just haven't bought Lego sets. The most recent Lego set I bought, I actually did buy the Ahsoka's T6 shuttle, which is a good set, although I wish I would have waited, because I went in with $60 in my hands, and then it was $80 apparently, and I was like, I'm already here, so I got it. Great figures and a great set, but yeah. But the main 3 sets that I'm like trying to get here before they kind of leave is BD1, the ATTE, and then obviously the New Republic gunship whenever I get around to that, the Coruscant Guard one. But yeah, if you guys found any deals though on Black Friday stuff, let me know. I know Cyber Monday also has deals as well, but yeah, I'm just kind of looking around here. Oh, one thing I did want to show you guys, and I had a question on, so let me grab, it'll be right here. So I'll just grab a couple of these. So for Umbarans, if you guys have tuned in some of the previous live streams, I've kind of talked about how the actual Umbaran helmets, which would be these ones right here, I think were only made for this set, for the Umbaran heavy cannon set, mobile heavy cannon, whatever it's called. So they're insanely expensive on Bricklink. And so what I ended up doing was I just got different space helmets, you know, these kind of flat circular ones that are way cheaper and easier to get right here. And I just kind of put this visor on them and ended up just using this. And I know it doesn't look as good or detailed as the, you know, the really helmets that actually came with the Umbarans, but in terms of price and, you know, quantity, those ones are so almost near impossible to get, you know, reasonably priced. So what I did was I wanted to test something. And even with something like this right here, I was never a fan of the clear visor because I don't think it represents... I mean, I can see why they did it because it is kind of clear in the show. And then the green lights inside of the helmet, I think, is what gives it that green glow. But personally, I really wanted to try something different. I wanted to try the green kind of glow. So I got some of the green translucent... I'm gonna have to move my lamp because that's obviously getting in the way. So I got a bunch of these green translucent ones to put on the Umbarans, and I think I'll include this in my next segment, so you guys can get a better, you know, HD look at it, and kind of feel and kind of ask like what you guys are feeling between which helmet design to go for, either the green and this one right here, because to me I really do like the look of this one. But it does stick out a little bit. So 2 options that I, you know, will mess around with and everything like that to try to see what looks best for my Umbarans. And of course, we'll have battle droids as well once we get those in the actual capital itself, which I need to actually start getting to the capital because so far right now, it just kind of looks like I've got an Umbara mock that's just kind of whatever going on right now. Whereas the main appeal for me was... you know, doing the actual capital of Umbara, not necessarily the stuff we've seen in the show. So I need to finish this up quickly so I can move on to the stuff that I'm really excited about. I mean, this stuff is cool, of course, and I love doing stuff from the show, but it's not really what I was looking forward to the most when I was going to build this. So $25 Republic fighter tanks, I did see that, and they were out of stock before I could grab any, of course. Shocker. I'm going to move that lamp real quick, guys. Realizing that is in the way quite a lot. Also repping the Indianapolis Colts because they won today. They're my football team, so that's exciting. Hey Tyler, what's going on, man? 2 buckaroos, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. That is amazing. Thank you so much, man. I recently, so like for the Google AdSense stuff, you only get paid like every, I think, $100 that like you get off the ads. Hey, there, it popped up right there with the picture from my old Jedi, oh yeah, the Nightfall landing pad mock. That was 3 years ago almost, so that's really cool. So yeah, you only get paid in like these increments of like 100. So I remember the first time I got it, I was like, it's amazing. And recently I finally got the second time. So I've only gotten paid out by Google for like YouTube ads twice, and I recently got the second one, and I was very excited. And the reason it came through so quickly was because past 2 live streams I've had you guys donate some really awesome donations. So now I have some extra money to buy parts finally. So what I'm hoping to do is buy some more black slopes for the, you know, crazy looking tree thingy majiggers that I showed in I think the second episode that I was hoping to do. And I also need some more triangle tile pieces when I'm doing over here. So thank you so much for the donation, man. You've always thought the neon green fit the Umbaran vibe. See, that's kind of what if I'm gonna do, you know what? Sorry, I've never tried this before, so I'm just gonna do this right now. I'm gonna put a green visor on the original Umbara helmet just to see what it looks like. Let's see. See, to me, I personally really like this a lot. That's really cool. So this would be my ideal setup if I could get a lot of these helmets, but they're just, you know, insanely hard to get. But I kind of like the green This is really close, sorry. You know, classic Clone Wars style face right there for the Umbaran. Yeah, I kind of like that. That's actually really cool. So that would be my ideal pick if I could do that. But so we'll put him back over here. So we'll see. I'll put the video, you know, when I do my next update video, hopefully here in a week or so. I've got a couple of clips. I just need to record a couple more. I will ask you guys again and see what people are preferring. But also, I don't know what he's doing over here. I should have set up some more figures. I haven't really set them up from last time. Hey, Mockhart, what's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Gonna have to plug my computer in here. If you could see how much technology I've got going on over here, it's kind of, you know, insane. All the cords and everything, and tripping over everything. Happy to say you contributed 15 black slopes. Yes, you did. Thank you very much. Now, it's a joke, you know, it's like, you know, 15 slopes, whatever, but like 15 of these, I've noticed that it's insanely valuable. It's kind of crazy when you're doing these trenches like I'm doing, where I've got, you know, they're kind of larger, but I'm using a lot of smaller pieces to do it. So even just 15 of a piece is like insanely helpful. Okay, I'm going to plug this in really quick. And I don't think you can hear me from over here. I don't know if the microphone even picks it up. So hold on a second, guys. This is how I do my live streams, very professionally, plugging stuff in halfway through them, as one does. Go Colts. Okay, let's see. So Tyler, you like the OG helmet too with the neon green? Yeah, I'm definitely preferring. They're hard to get, not necessarily super expensive, but getting more than 2 at a time is like impossible. That's what I mean. I checked, last time I checked on those helmets probably was in the fall, maybe September, and I was like, nobody has, you know, nobody has those helmets. It's really hard, just because they only came in the one set, which I was shocked. I thought they would have, you know, come in a different space set or something, you know. Getting extra money from mock parts is the best. It definitely is pretty helpful, especially when you get older and you have like, you have a job, so it's like, you know, you have money to spend on Lego, but you also have a lot of other expenses that you have to kind of figure out in order to, you know, be financially responsible and not just buying, you know, insane, you know, spending all your money on Lego, which I would love to do, of course, you know. But yeah, awesome. Green visor looks good. You think, okay, oh, the Commonwealth troops from Walking Dead. Yeah, that actually, those helmets would work really well for them. Yeah. This actually is the Brickworld mock, Tyler. Yeah. Just because I had to start this one early because I've been so busy, I wasn't going to be able to, you know, sometimes I would start a mock in like, you know, January when I was younger for like Brickworld 2017 and 2018. But yeah, this year I need more time for this one, you know, just getting so busy. So yeah, this one is the Brickworld mock coming up, and it's about the same size as Zepho was last year. Not as big as Munilus, though. I don't know if we'll ever top Munilus. That was just massive, and I'm still shocked to this day that that somehow made it, you know, the 5 or 6 hour drive that I had to Chicago, and only sustained like the one building casualty. That was a shocker. Zepho actually transported very well last year. I built that thing a lot, you know, better in terms of like being able to transport it, compared to some of my previous years where I just didn't plan that out very well, you know. So this one, I'll have to be careful as well. Buildings are always hard to transport, especially if you're like me and for some reason didn't build them modular. For some reason for Munilus, I was just like, oh, I'll worry about this later, and I would just build all of them up, and it's like, no, you need to, you know, you need to actually be conscious of what you're doing and think about, you know, how you're going to transport it while you're building. That's insanely important, you know. So that's something that I need to, once I get to the actual city part of the build. Sorry, I'm going to lift this up. Once I get to the city part of the build, I need to be very cautious about how I'm going to transport it. So much to figure out on these mocks sometimes. So yeah, also I guess suggestions for the minifig hat, those are always available. So if you have any ideas, anything you want me to put on the minifigure hat, just let me know. All sorts of options. So yeah, the next update video that you'll see for Umbara will be adding on to the road, which I've done here. I built the bunker, which you will see. It's really small, like gun emplacement, kind of like a Normandy, you know, gun emplacement, but a lot smaller, if that makes sense, a smaller scale, in scale with kind of the trench area. And then I'll start to work on hopefully a trench over here, and then like I want to do one of those big weird looking trees right here and one right here. So that's kind of my plan for the next episode. Again, in the meantime, hopefully I'm gonna hope by Wednesday or Thursday, sometime this week, I will put out my next from start to finish episode, which essentially what those are, if I don't know how many people have watched those or not, those are essentially where I start off with a plain base plate and I build a mock, essentially from nothing to a completed mock in the time frame of one whole video, and I do it as if it's a condensed version of one of these Umbara update videos where I just realized my autofocus was going off. I usually just do manual focus for everything, but for some reason on my camera, when I do manual focus, I have a little like square thing for the focusing that I can't turn off for these live streams. So, but anyway, sorry, I ramble all the time on these. But from start to finish, where I just kind of do a theme that a historical theme or something different, and I kind of build a whole mock in one episode. So I did a Vietnam era one, and it is done. I've last night finally set up on the minifigures and did all that stuff. So I got those all completed, that video. I just need to add music and make sure we're good on some of the color stuff and for the video, and then that's about it. I'll show you guys some of those minifigures actually. I'll grab a couple of them. Okay. I don't know if this is interesting or not, but I like the historical military Lego stuff. But so here's what I've got for some of my American troops. They're just a World War II Pacific, I think from Citizen Brick. I've had these for years. A Marine torso, and I just obviously give them an M16 as well as just a World War II kind of pot helmet right there, and they work very well for just Vietnam era stuff. So those are my main grunts for the Americans. What else do I got here? I made a little sniper guy right here, kind of like with a poncho that you see a lot of the times. Think of like Platoon, if you've seen that movie and some of those scenes where they're wearing kind of these ponchos. And then my Viet Cong. I really love these capes that they've been doing recently, the past couple of years. These smaller capes, absolutely love them. One of my Viet Cong guys right there with the Mosin. Here's another one right here with an AK. Kind of the black pajama, classic Viet Cong look. And then I think this is a Dementor cape from a Harry Potter set that I found. And when I was younger, I like clipped it off, so it's like half of one, and it worked kind of well for like a cloak type thing. And then this guy right here is like a classic, like short sleeve kind of Vietnam, in the heat, in the jungle type character here. So we've got our Endor torso right there from the battle packs, and then just yellow arms and kind of a I think a Ninjago mask right there, kind of balaclava thing right there. So I really like this figure for some reason. Just gives me like the classic Vietnam type look that you see a lot of time in the films and everything. So yeah, that was a really fun mock to do. I don't know what I'll do next. I might do something from Napoleonic era, because I just saw Napoleon, and I have a lot of thoughts on that movie. But I don't want to ramble too much on that. Otherwise, I might just do another World War II one, because a lot of people enjoyed the World War II ones that I did in the past. I've done a lot of World War II from start to finish episodes, and they did pretty well for the channel, honestly. And I enjoy probably building those the most out of like all the historical eras and stuff like that. So a lot of different ideas. The only problem is those mocks are supposed to be like take like 3 weeks max, but lately every time I do them they take like 3 months. So that's a problem. They're decent size too, so like I need to make them smaller. Each episode they keep getting bigger, which is not what's supposed to happen for those episodes. The whole point of that series was to do small mocks. So I need to size those down just a little bit, so I can actually get those episodes out quite a bit, because ideally, I'd love to rotate between those and Umbara. That was always the plan before I got super busy, so. But yeah. refresh the chat here. Do, 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 do. So Mockhart, you're getting ready to build a Felucia mock. Nice. I love that planet, in particular the 327th. I really like the 327th as well. So I'll have to check you out on that and see when you start to get those going, how the progress will look. Because I'm curious on how you're going to do the like a lot of the vegetation and jungle and stuff. Somewhat similar to Umbara in terms of the alien life, you know, kind of everything like that. So Tyler's having some advice here. Let's see what he's got for mocks here. Mock building budgets were definitely hard to maintain when I was building back in the day. I tried to limit to say 500, and that 500 would be gone the first batch of orders. That is 1,000% true. Especially now, the prices are like I used to be. I remember 2017, 2018 being able to just get like, you know, some 1x2s for very good prices. But even those have jumped up in price, which is kind of interesting. Base plate dimensions of the mock. Let's see. I know it's 4 gray base plates across, and then 1 green base plate. So 4 gray, 1 green, and then it's 2 gray base plates across. So actually, the best way to envision it is just a 6-foot white table. I've built on that for years, and that's always what it's been. That I pretty much, except for Munilus, where I decided to add another kind of table onto that. Building modular is something new, so I'm trying to get used to it. Yeah, definitely, especially if you're going to bring, you know, any mocks anywhere or anything like that. Definitely something to get used to, especially like when you're in the zone and you just kind of keep building forever, and then before you know it, you're like, how the heck am I going to transport that? And then you push it to the back of your mind and say, I will deal with that in June. And then the day before Brickworld, you're like, yeah, I've really screwed myself over here. I'm borrowing plant techniques that I'm using, so yeah, it's out of frame, of course it is. I'll move it in a second here, but I've got some trees that I've messed with that I think look good. They're not really necessarily something you see in the show. I kind of like took the vegetation that you see in the show and kind of made something myself from it, but like the actual tulip part that you see on top of a lot of the trees, I kind of did with some red 1x2 translucent pieces. Actually, you know what? I'll just grab it right now so I just don't sit here and ramble. Which I still will, but essentially this is a tree design I've used quite a bit. I don't know if I'll build any more of these because they're not really entirely something you'd see in the show. The big kind of trees that you see, I want to use slopes whenever I order some more to kind of create a big looking tree. But what I've got right here is essentially a flex tube in here with a modified brick on all sides, and then I've put 1x2s along the outside, so you can see in there the flex tube and the modified brick, and then I've got the 1x2 on top of there, and then this is kind of like the tulip that I described, where essentially it's a bunch of just 1x2 translucent red pieces, and they're all kind of in different directions. So one of them is sideways on a modified brick, and the rest are kind of together, and they kind of branch out like this, and then you obviously can flex it a little bit with the flex tube. So I like this design. It's just not necessarily something that you saw in the show. So that's why I'm not entirely sure if I will keep that design or if I will end up doing something a little bit different for a lot of these. But I do want to mess around hopefully sometime soon with the kind of big trees that you see using slope pieces. So we'll see. How about some droids for the hat? We could do that, definitely. You've heard mixed reviews on Napoleon. So I didn't see the Marvels just because I just lately for Marvel, for me, the last thing that I've really enjoyed was Shang-Chi. Actually, I love Loki too. Loki. Season 1 and 2 were quite good. But in terms of the movies, I just haven't lately caught up with it. And I'm someone that used to catch them all the time. The original Avengers, 2012, is a core theater memory for me. And that movie's like my favorite comic book movie of all time, the original 2012 Avengers. So, but yeah, just, you know, I've, you know, got into comics as well, and I just haven't, lately Marvel, I haven't gotten too much into it. So I couldn't compare it to you. Napoleon, it was good. I am someone who I've always wanted to see kind of a big Napoleonic era film. I know there's a lot of foreign ones. I've seen like one of the War and Peace, the Russian films that are on like HBO Max, but I haven't seen a lot of the other ones. but I've always felt like a big Napoleonic battle is something I've always wanted to see in films, in like a modern kind of filmmaking technology. So Napoleon was actually my number one movie like anticipated for this year, because I'm like a big, that era I really enjoy studying. And the first, I'd say third of the movie that was dealing with the French Revolution and Napoleon's rise, I thought were quite good. I know this is something that maybe not a lot of people care about, but I really would have liked them to do the movie in French and have subtitles, because when you're watching all of this stuff that's happening in France and they're using English accents, it just doesn't really work in my opinion. As well as the fact of when you cut to other countries during the battles, you'll hear battle calls in like Russian, and then it's like, but the Russians are speaking English, even though during the battle you hear battle cries in Russian. So I'm just kind of, I know that's a nitpick, but that was one thing. The first third I really liked, but then after that, essentially what they do is the movie takes place like from 1793 or whatever all the way to Waterloo in 1815, and they try to cover all of that in a 2-hour movie. And even someone who had a lot of the historical context, when they ask you to invest in Napoleon and a lot of his character, so they have these big moments where you're like, oh, you really need to feel for Napoleon, you really need to be like, oh, this is it, this is his moment. But it's gone by, you've jumped around so much that you just not connected to anything. And I felt like it jumped around a lot. Now I know there's a 4-hour cut that Ridley Scott's talked about, maybe that'll help. But I also felt that the battle scenes were cool, but at the same time they focus more on Napoleon than the actual battle itself. To me, what I like about war scenes in films are when you actually focus on the individual soldiers, which is one of the reasons I love building, these mocks that like focus on these large armies, is when you cut to the individual soldiers on the front lines, engaging in hand-to-hand combat, seeing all this stuff. But this movie focused more on Napoleon, back here, and kind of his tactics, which were cool, but they also didn't dive into his tactics enough that I thought were something interesting. The movie looked, brilliant. It looked beautiful. The sets were great. But for me, the battle scenes felt like, I think my friend Paul described it the best, like there was a wall in between. You could feel the screen in between yourself and the battle. Compare that to Saving Private Ryan, or I don't know, what's another good one that you could think, like 13 Hours, Saving Private Ryan, even something like A Bridge Too Far, like the older, one of the older war films. You feel like you're in the film with them. This one, I felt like an outside observer, kind of, if that makes sense. So yeah, I liked the first third of the film. I thought was enjoyable. Joaquin Phoenix is fine, but they make some weird choices with him. They focus a lot on the romance, which, that's fine, but I felt like it didn't really pay off. It was kind of a weird relationship. I didn't really care about what happened to either of them. So it wasn't the movie I was looking for, unfortunately. But I would recommend you see it on the big screen, because you're going to be in awe. A lot of the shots look quite beautiful. But you might be lost because they skip a lot of historical context of why people are like switching sides and fighting each other. And then by the time you got to Waterloo, it was just like, it didn't really have any emotional payoff for me. And my favorite part of the movie, like even what I loved that they did, that they finally showed, which was really cool, that something I've always wanted to kind of see in a modern film, was how those Napoleon, I know this is getting, I'm almost done. I know this is like, blah, 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 quite boring, but they showed like how enemies in that era would fight against a cavalry charge. And you see it in the trailer. They form these squares. So the British actually form a square and repel a cavalry charge. That's something I just nerd out about that I loved. So, but yeah, I would recommend seeing it. It just was, you might be a little bored, and like you're not going to get emotionally attached to a lot of people because they are just flying through. They try to cover his whole life. And this could have been like of course it could have been, a trilogy of movies, but that would have been way too expensive. A TV show probably would have suited this type of film a lot better in my opinion. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I just didn't love it. There's my ramble. Sorry, I'm done. Yeah, don't even get started on the 2017 prices. Yeah, crazy on everything, just crazy, which makes it that much harder nowadays when you're buying stuff. It hurts even more knowing what it used to be. So yeah, and I would say definitely still go see the movie. I just went in and my expectations were like, this is the most anticipated movie of the year for me, and then I just was kind of like, it's fine. It was fine. Maybe the 4-hour cut will be a lot better. So I'm actually, we'll see if I get around to sitting down to watch that. 6-foot tables are the society standard. That is 1,000% true. They're class. I've had these tables for, ever since I was a kid. Flucia is almost like Umbara. Of course, it's more colorful. That is true. Horrible for clones, yeah. You're still going to start in March? Okay, nice. Yeah, serving on Flucia or Umbara, that would have been Space Vietnam. Tying it back into our Vietnam stuff here would not have been fun for clones. Personally, think Joaquin Phoenix is overrated. Interesting. Yeah, I think. Again, I really think if it literally just would you would have had them. I know it would have been hard, but to speak French and have the subtitles, I would have been so immersed. Because goodness, that light is bright. You cut into these really intense French Revolution scenes, and having that dialogue in French would have been so much better in my opinion. But yeah, I would still recommend checking it out. But yeah, there are some choices, especially Tyler, if you're not a fan of Joaquin Phoenix, where you'll just be like a little like, some of the romantic scenes. You're just like, what is happening here? What is going on? 1970 Waterloo. Okay. So, because I remember watching a video from like Watch Mojo or whatever, where it said top 10 biggest battle scenes for Napoleonic era, and I know they were all older films, and I've only seen War and Peace, the first of those movies, and I've been meaning to check out other ones. They're just hard to find sometimes, especially foreign films. They're harder to get your hands on. But Waterloo is one I've heard of. I haven't been able to watch it yet, but I will recheck that because it's been years since I've looked for it. So thank you, Scott. Attack of the Clones, favorite war movie. There you go. I mean, even the Battle of Geonosis was a million times better than the battles in this movie. I'm sorry. It really was. Is Napoleon more boring and slow than Oppenheimer? I think for most people, yes. In my opinion, yes. Now, I think if I liked Oppenheimer, and what helps with Oppenheimer, and this is going to get a little technical. We'll get back to Lego, I promise. They do a lot with the editing in Oppenheimer, with the music and the cuts to make it feel more rapid and quick, and you really don't slow down in that movie. Napoleon, you definitely, especially some of the romance scenes, you really slow down a little bit. So I think most people will find Napoleon more boring than Oppenheimer, yes. But personally, I enjoyed both. I don't know if I could pick which one I liked more. I think the performances in Oppenheimer were better. But yeah, I would still recommend watching them. So, yeah. All right. What else we got here? Geez, it's already been 49 minutes. I haven't even touched any Lego stuff yet to build. And, if you guys have tuned into the live streams, I'll probably get in trouble for clickbait some of these days because I say building Umbara, but I never build anything in these live streams because I just talk to you guys. And I really need to bring, like, water or something down here because I always talk so much and I'm like, ah. But yeah, these live streams, I just don't ever build in them. So hopefully you guys don't care. Which is like, this is a prime moment where I should be building to get some progress done. But it's like, yeah, I like talking with you guys, every once in a while. Back in the day, 2 years ago, 2021, where I had live streams every week. That was incredible. I love doing that. Okay, my chat is frozen, so whenever that comes back, I'll get back to looking at what you guys are saying. But it is now frozen, so. You knew about the Commonwealth troops pretty quick. You watched The Walking Dead. So I watched The Walking Dead up until about season 8. But I've kept up with some of the lore and trailers and such, so I know about the troops that you're talking about. I just haven't seen that far ahead of the show yet. As my dog is barking upstairs, probably sees an animal or something. Which the other day, this is kind of crazy. At least I'd never seen, like, I live kind of on the edge of town somewhat. So, hold on a second. I live on the edge of town, and so I see a lot of deer and stuff. Sorry, just gonna respond. I had a message there from family there real quick. So I live kind of on the edge of town, but I actually was just like eating a bagel. It's very comedical. I just sat down and looked out my windows, and I just saw a coyote running across the yard, which I'd seen a lot of animals in my backyard, but never that. So now whenever we let my dog out, I just like go out there and I'm just like scanning. You know, I'm just like scanning. Like if that thing comes out, I'm like, because I have a smaller dog, so yeah, coyotes. Don't joke around with those things. But yeah, the first time I'd ever actually seen one. I hear them all the time, but yeah. If you sent $200, would you binge watch the rest of Walking Dead? Listen, man, I liked the show. I just stopped because I think I had gotten to the point where I was caught up on Netflix, but I hadn't had the season come back, like season 9. And personally for me, Rick was like my favorite guy, so when he left the show, you know, and got taken away by the helicopter, whatever, I kind of started to lose a little bit of interest. But I do plan on getting back into it when I can, because now I know it's exploded into all these different spin-off shows and stuff. But hey, I will make a promise to you here that I will get around to watching those, you know, the rest of the seasons when I get a chance. Again, I've just been so busy where it's like there's also a lot of shows and movies. But what I used to do all the time when I was in college, I kept a list of movies that I watch, and I would watch a new movie almost every night, like on one of the streaming services. So I like got over 100 movies a year for like 2 years in a row, and I haven't watched, like I barely watch the movies anymore on streaming. You know, I have a hard time even making it to the theater, which really sucks because I one of my favorite things was just microwave popcorn. I'd sit down and watch a movie, you know. And yeah, I just haven't had time. So binge watching the rest of the seasons will be tough, but I guarantee you I will get to it when I have time, because I like the show and the characters. I really like the characters. All those, you know, I remember season 1 through 4 and even 5. Man, I really loved the show. I just kind of fell off of it and haven't got back into it. But the attention span, yeah, that is tough. I've tried to like not fault, like I still don't have like TikTok or anything on my phone. I've come close to downloading it just because I'm like, my friends always like say all these references, and I feel like really weird and old, like an older person, like, you know, old because I don't understand, but I just don't have TikTok. YouTube Shorts I've experimented with a little bit, but I try to stay away because I know if I get into those, my attention span, you know, I'll have a hard time watching a mock update video. Which this is actually, I'm going to ask your guys' opinion here. So it's a good point with attention spans and YouTube Shorts. And I know I'm like a grumpy old, you know, like grumpy, like, why don't people, you know, watch all the video, you know, the full videos? But it's like, I have never, and maybe this is a problem with what I do, where it's maybe hard for me to grow. I've really never deviated from the style and like flow of my videos in terms of like, if you look at all my mock update videos from all the way back, you know, probably like 2020 with my big Clone Wars mock that I did, they're almost all consistently the same length and kind of the same style. Obviously I've gotten better equipment, the editing's become a little smoother, stuff like that, and the mocks have become better, at least I hope so. But I've kept the length basically the same, and I know, you know, YouTube Shorts and the shorter videos are kind of what YouTube prioritizes nowadays. I know people enjoy that more, but I've just never really deviated and done anything different. And I don't know if that's a detriment. Like for me personally, when I see other people upload mock update videos, I like to see them longer, and maybe I won't get around to watching it in the first day or two. But when I have free time to watch it, I enjoy the little bit longer videos because I like to have something on when I'm building, so I gravitate more towards longer YouTube videos I can listen to while I build, or watch while I build for mock update videos, you know. So personally, I like longer mock update videos, but I know shorter videos, you know, you might reach more people. But at the same time, I like making videos for the people I make videos for, which is you guys that have watched, you know, for the last couple of years, or even if you're new as well. I like to stick with that style for people to watch, and because I don't want to deviate and do the, you know, shorter videos and make, you know, people feel like, what the heck, these videos are so short nowadays. I prefer the longer videos. But what I'm asking is, like, how do you guys feel about the shorter videos compared to longer videos? Like on your YouTube feed, Are you watching shorter videos, longer videos? How do you feel about that? Because I've just done the same thing for a long time because that's what I like to do. And I want to keep it consistent for the people that like to tune into my videos whenever you guys get a chance. But there's something to be said where it's like, hey, and I know people do this as well. Here's my mock. Here's what I did this week. Here's a couple shots of it. I'm done in 5 minutes, you know? Whereas my videos tend to always be over the 10-minute mark every time. I don't know the last time I had a mock update video under 10 minutes or whatever, you know? So just something to think about. I'm not really like urgently like trying to find a way to change the channel. You know, at this point I've been doing it for so long where it's like I'm not really trying to switch everything up right now. You know, I have a hard enough time just trying to find time to make videos right now with how busy I am. But I'm just curious, like, if people enjoy the shorter type of videos or if a longer video is something that you're more interested in nowadays, or sorry, if a shorter video is something you're more interested in nowadays. Yeah, I don't know. It just, I guess it also just depends person to person, you know? Alright, now that rant is over, let's see what you guys have to say here. Mockhart says he's scared of TikTok because I would spend too much time on it and I just like more longer form videos in general. Tyler saying you've never actually clicked on a short from my sub feed. Interesting. Interesting. I've watched a couple of short videos, but yeah, maybe they're not even from my sub feed. You know what? That is 1000% correct. Now that I think about it, it's always on my home feed where I see somebody like, hey, here's a custom, you know, clone figure, or here's a Black Series figure that I just got. Watch me unbox it real quick. You know, I guess, yeah, for my sub feed, I guess I don't think I've ever watched short videos. See, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Either way is fine. For Scott, longer videos show more detail, so that's always nice to see. And Joseph says he likes long form. So, yeah. Just something I was curious about. Also, just because, like, what I do for my job is, like, media. I do a lot of media stuff. You know, I also, separate from my job, separate from Lego YouTube stuff, I make short films. So length on short films is always something to keep in mind of, like, people sitting down to watch it. You know, what's the correct length to do that. So I'm fascinated by discussions like that. So I'm always just curious on what people prefer. So yeah. Oh, I was supposed to put droids on my head. Let's see. Droids. See Gonky from Bad Batch? I'm gonna do Battle Droids because they're cooler. No offense, Gonky from Bad Batch. Alright. Battle Droids. Super. Just what I thought. It's one of those new commando droids. Rookies is like my all-time favorite Clone Wars episode, so. Rex, what the hell was that? I remember they censored a couple times on that, but sometimes on the reruns or like on the actual Clone Wars disc, you would actually hear Cody say that. And as a kid, I was like, whoa. But yeah, I love that episode. Is something wrong with your vocabulator? Roger. Sorry, I'll just sit here and quote the whole episode. Okay, so, Commando Droid, Captain. Good old Super Battle Droid. If I was a betting man, I would say that they're not going to change the Super Battle Droid mold for the new Battle Pack. And classic Battle Droids right here with our, just back 1x2 backpack right there. This one's really cool. I got, I think, in 2017 in Brickworld. This is why I don't like using auto settings. My webcam is like trying to adjust and it's just overexposing everything. This one's got the yellow stripe right there. Yeah, I'm going to change this. Hopefully that's a little better. This battle droid, I don't remember what set he came in. I just bought him because at Brickworld one year. Just got the yellow the commander right here, so I always think he's really cool. Okay. Super Bat, like my favorite droid. I'm actually curious. Do you guys have a favorite like droid? Like droid type? I guess it doesn't have to be battle droid, although that's kind of what I was thinking. Super battle droids were always my favorite because Super battle droids were always my favorite because you would play as them in the original Battlefront 2. So I always loved the original Battlefronts. Those are like my favorite games. So Super battle droids were always my favorite. Excuse me. Oh, it is going to be a new mold. Okay. Yeah, see, I haven't been paying attention at all to leaks or anything, so to hear that it will be a new mold, that is incredible, because I think it's time for a new mold. And one that doesn't break as easily, obviously, on the leg. So thank you for that. Sweet. That's awesome. You can tell how much I've been paying attention recently. Sweet. That's actually great news. So yeah, Super Battle Droids are always my favorite. Plus, like the in Attack of the Clones, like my favorite thing is the Super Battle Droid punches the regular Battle Droid, and then it's just like one of my favorite things ever. I remembered him saying in that scene, it makes so much more sense. Yeah, he does say it, but they censored it a couple times on Cartoon Network. Yeah. Same in that episode, when Echo 5's Heavy and Cut Up are walking, and they're talking about the giant eels. Don't forget about those giant eels. Oh, I've never seen one. Cut Up! I think after that, they do say, what the hell was that? That also got censored, so like, 2 in that episode. They were just going off on that episode, honestly. But yeah, Rookies is like my all-time favorite. Scott, you like Astromechs? Yeah, classic. Yeah, those are classic. Magna Guards, too. I love Magna Guards. I always think they're so cool. But yeah, Super Battle Droids for me are like my absolute favorite. Oh, and here you go. This is a good comment. After playing Republic Commando, I despise Super Battle Droids. So, there was, I think, a Steam sale going on years ago where you could get like the full Star Wars collection for a really good deal. So I picked it up, and Republic Commando was one of them, and obviously I love Delta Squad, but I never played the game. So I tried to play it, and I got past the first, couple missions, but I couldn't finish the game because I got so frustrated with the health system in that game for how much health the battle droids would have, in particular Super Battle Droids. I just wasn't having fun with the game. I know a lot of people love it, but I just couldn't get into the game because of how long it took to take those guys out. So I've never gone back and played it, even though I absolutely love Republic Commandos. Like, they're some of my favorite clones. But yeah, even though I never finished the game, I know that comment that you're saying because I could never get past those, how annoying it was to take enemies out in that game. So I also found, when I went to kind of this local toy shop to get some parts, I've gone a couple times. They recently started, like, selling Lego, and they actually have a great, like, parts kind of collection there where people, like, sell them parts and they do, like, a pick-a-brick type system, which has been really great, and they have some great minifigures selection, too. And recently I've found, every time I go, if I see anything to do with Umbara, I'll grab it. So they had, and man, my webcam's still doing that. One of the older, 501st Troops right here, I picked one of those up. I think he was only like $6, maybe $7, which I'm okay with paying for that because I don't have to pay for shipping. I found another 2020 501st Trooper, and same again, he was only $6, maybe $7. And then I found the original 332nd Trooper from the AAT, which I never got that set because I despised that AAT. I thought it was just terrible. And a disgrace to the amazing AAT back in the day because I love that set. What an incredible tank. What an incredible set. So yeah, I never got it, but I saw it there for like, I think it was $7, and they were doing like a 20% off sale. And I scooped him, and he doesn't have the helmet holes. And I was like, I'm grabbing this guy. So now I have a 332nd Trooper from the AAT from 2020. So that store has been kind of like, I've been going there a lot, and it's like, hey, this is a great that this is finally here, because the closest Lego store for me is like 4.5 hours away. So being able to have this kind of like, obviously it's all used parts that you're buying, but like I don't mind as much as long as it's not like, you know, white pieces that are yellowed. But they have some great pieces there. That's where I was able to find all these, you know, little helmet pieces right here, and it also came in clutch. For Zepho last year, I went up there and got a whole bunch of parts, greebling parts that I needed for the top of the Imperial base, if you guys remember. I would not have been able to finish the greebling on top if I hadn't gone to that store. Took me hours to sift through and go to the bottom of the bin and get all the pieces, you know, for greebling, but yeah. Alright, we've been going for over an hour here, so I will probably close this out pretty soon. I'm going to refresh the chat whenever it unpauses here. And we'll probably close it out here pretty soon, actually. Just because I have a couple more things to do tonight. I would like to maybe do a couple more things here and build. Maybe record another segment. We'll see if I have time. I have to get all my camera gear and all my work gear ready for tomorrow for my actual job. And then there is a soccer game tonight that I would like to watch. So, also, and actually, I don't know if I'll get any building done actually, because right after this, I need to edit my from start to finish video, so I get that uploaded this week, because it's been like a month since I've uploaded. So, yikes. So yeah, I'm just waiting. My stream is frozen again. At least my chat is still refreshing. Oh, I actually can just, hold on, go to the actual YouTube video. For some reason the chat is a lot quicker there than what I'm using here. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, also another thing I might do, you see this shelf back... This is trippy. There we go. Back here. It's kind of overflowing with all my sets, especially my Imperial shelf up there, but also my Republic shelf on the bottom. It's just out of frame. I have like all my Jedi starships and interceptors and ATRTs and a gunship. And it's just like stacking on top of each other. The way I have it set up is Republic at the bottom, another Republic shelf, and then the Separatist shelf right there, Rebellion shelf, and Imperial, and then a couple First Order stuff. So my goal is I really want to try to get a second one of those and essentially put it right behind me here, scooch all my drawers and stuff down this way, because I have a couple of sets, just on the ground everywhere because I don't have space for them. So I'd like to get a shelf to put some more of my sets. But not only that, also I want to, in the background of my videos, so when I'm recording an update video, the background shelf you can kind of see back there in the videos, but I'd like to have one more shelf, which would be right back here, and then have the first two layers be just minifigures. So in the back of my videos you see a lot of minifigures and then more sets. So that would be my goal. I think that would be really exciting to do that. Okay, let's check here the chat. Caleb, you're excited for it as well. Awesome. Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that it was going to be a new mold. That's amazing. Sweet. The next update video, yeah, that's a great question, man. I really wish I knew. I'm sorry. Let's see. Right now I recorded one segment, two segments. I need to record a third segment, and then I'm out of progress. So I'll need to build a little bit more to record a fourth segment, and then the intro and the outro. So my goal, ladies and gentlemen, would be for the next Umbara mock update video, as I look on the calendar, to be... This is going to be tough. Not next weekend, but the weekend after that. So like the 9th or 10th maybe. I don't know if that'll happen because of how busy things have been, but I'm going to try to actually force myself to when I get back from work, to actually try to put some more hours into the mock here. So hopefully within the next 1 to 2 weeks. I know, man, I'm sorry. I would love to get videos out more often like I used to. There was a time where in 2020 where I think I did like 23 weeks in a row where I uploaded, which was a really good personal goal for me, but I've just never been able to get back to that. Even like, and I also had, posting once a week live streams and Munilist Monk update videos. That was a great time, but unfortunately that's kind of hard nowadays, but I'm trying. And but in the meantime, I've got the from start to finish episode coming out this week, so that'll be good. But yeah, I'll get around to it, don't worry about it. I need to start making some big progress, because this is a big mock and I don't have a lot done yet, so got a lot to do. And I just went to click on my Google thing and I accidentally clicked on the Minecraft launcher, which hasn't been launched in forever, so now it's trying to update. Great. Okay, now everything is just going wrong. Okay, alright, we're good. Okay, phew, okay. Don't need to play Minecraft right now. I sink too much time into that. Hey, History Builder's here. Nolan, what's up, man? Good to see you. I've been doing okay. I've been very busy. Good to hear from you. You joined in at the end of the live stream, but that's alright. I love seeing all you guys in the live stream, all my friends that I've met in real life. It's great. And then to all the people I haven't met in real life, I hope to meet you someday at a convention, maybe. That'd be awesome. But yeah, during these long, I guess I'll be really dramatic here. During these long, winter days where the sun goes down earlier in the day and it's dark all the time, I really long for Brick World in the summer days of Brick World. So, which I think I got an email that they already opened up registration, which is the earliest they've ever done that. So I need to check on that and make sure that's signups are out. Usually it's like not until January, but they might already be out. So if you're planning on going, double check that, because I might try to do that as well, just so I can get signed up and everything like that. So yeah. Oh yeah, and then History Builder Nolan here, he also had a great suggestion on some plants. So again, whenever I get around time to actually building more, hopefully I can do some of those plants, because that was actually a really clever idea. And yeah, I will be checking my Lego Instagram more frequently now. I finally got back in there and was checking some stuff up. So if you ever want to get a hold of me just to chat, or if you have a suggestion for the mock, or you have a question on something, or you have like a mock and you're like, hey, I kind of want to show this to some people, like just send me a message on Instagram. I think it's just Lego Gavin Productions is what it should be on there. And I'd love to chat. I need more Lego discussions in my life. I might not be the most, timely on my responses. Just a heads up, but I will try to do better at that. If you do message me, and anybody wants to send me a message on Instagram, I'd love to chat, love to see what you're working on, all sorts of fun stuff like that. Okay. No. Oh, one of my clone troopers fell down. I'm gonna fix him real quick. Umbara right here is getting stabbed by Anakin. We got these clone troopers pushing up. Another video that I really, really want to do is my where I sit down and record myself trying to set up my intro and outro clips for my videos. Because just how I do my minifigures and stuff, it takes forever. I knock stuff down, some profanity may come out. I think it would just make for a funny video where how frustrated I get setting up these intros and outros, and how like I need it to be a certain way, and it takes forever to do, but I love doing it. So all right, let's see here, anything else in the chat, but we should be good. Again, thank you, Tyler, for the donation there for, I think you said what did you say, 15 slopes for the mock, so that's great. Hey, Clip Films is here. Melbourne, what's up, man? I know it's been a while. No comment. I plead the fifth. Plead the fifth on that one. We'll see. I'll try to do better if I have some more free time here. But this has been spectacular. I really needed this live stream. This is great to sit down, relax, and talk to you guys, because things have been busy, man. Things have been busy. Hey, see you later, man. Thanks for stopping by, dude. See you later. Hoax rumor of Headhunter and 327th. I'm glad it was Hoax 327th and ATOT would make sense to you. I remember getting excited about that, but then turns out it wasn't true. But, you know, again, I haven't really been keeping up with the leaks and stuff. All I know is there's a clone battle pack coming out, and that's all I really care about at this moment. You know, I need some more plane troopers. Oh, thanks, man. Lamperts, thanks, dude. Yeah, this is like my pride and joy setting up like this whole, took a long time, but setting up the whole wall with all the front of the boxes, cutting out. All right, last story and last ramble, you know, story of the day, and then we'll call things good. But essentially, I kept all my boxes from when I was a kid, and it would drive my parents crazy, obviously. So cut all the front of the boxes and the back and pretty much compressed them down so it was all, you know, cut out into different things. And then put it on the wall, and my parents helped me put it on the wall, and we spent, you know, a weekend, or actually it might have been 2 weekends, putting this like Velcro on the back of them and then sticking them to the wall. And I was like, okay, it'd be cool if this set goes here. I had all these plans to do it like by era, but at the end I was like, you know, I think it looks better as like a collage. So I'm glad I kept all my boxes, and it's not only is it a cool background for the videos, but it's also like, for me, Lego's such a big part of my life, and it means so much to me, especially. So there's an example of trying to set up an intro and stuff just falls down. As I was saying, Lego means a lot to me. Like, especially a lot of the older sets from when I was a kid, like the Y-wing right there, Palpatine shuttle, the amazing Swamp Speeder, which has like one of my favorite clones ever. This one that they only made that one time. So being able to just, like, when I'm down here building, look across and see how far things have come, and get kind of that nostalgic kick, and then just to remind myself how much I love Lego and, like, just what it all means to me, especially tying it into Brickworld and everything in this YouTube channel, which I've had since, you know, 2009 when I was a little baby kid, and just, like, it all means so much to me. So having that up on the wall just kind of encapsulates everything. So, yep. Ever make it to Virginia? One day, I hope so, man. I hope so. But it always falls on a date that just doesn't ever work for me. But hopefully one day I can make it there, because Virginia is on my bucket list. Ever since I was a kid, seeing all the military stuff at Virginia was like, oh, I got to get there one day. But yeah. All right. That's going to do it for this live stream. This was a long live stream. I love it. Way longer than I thought I was going to go for tonight. But that is totally fine with me, because I love catching up with you guys, especially since it's been so long since I've done one of these. So that's about it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for the from start to finish episode that'll come out this week, and Umbara, which will hopefully come out in the next couple of weeks for a new episode. But and if I have some free time, I promise I'll try to make, if I have a block of schedule, I'm like, hey, I have some time, I will try to do a live stream. There just might not be much head notice. It might be like, hey, I'm doing a live stream today or tomorrow, you know. So but I'll definitely keep you guys posted. And yeah, if you ever want to send me a message, just on Instagram, Lego Gavin Productions, just send me a message, anything like that. So thank you to Tyler for the donation. Thank you guys so much for chatting and kind of bringing up all these conversations in the chat. Again, we were able to go an hour and 20 minutes without even building Lego, just all talking to you guys with all your different points and different comments you guys are making, and all your opinions. So I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite things to do on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, leave your feedback in the comment section below. Hope you guys have a great day, and may the Force be with you always.